In this video, I am going to share with you how to be more positive even in negative situations right now. Hello, and thank you for taking a moment of your day to be with me today. My name is Dom, and I help people to step into their truth and power. Today, I am going to share with you how to be more positive, even in negative situations. In order for us to be able to successfully do this, the first thing we have to understand is the premise that we are actually creating our own reality by what we think, how we feel, and by the perceptions and beliefs that we have about ourselves and our lives, both at a conscious level and a subconscious level. And even if you don't agree that you are creating your own reality, you're still creating the experience that you are inhabiting. One of the reasons why I love talking about this and sharing this is because over the past few years, more and more of this is being proven to be true. It's not just hocus pocus magic, and it's not even just thinking good thoughts to have a good life. If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. It's much, much more involved than that. When we begin to grasp that our internal lens creates our external reality that we experience, we begin to step into a real inner power over our life. Because we're no longer dependent on external resources and other people to experience joy and happiness. We can source that completely from within. So if you agree with this premise, you begin to realize that every situation and experience has a positive interpretation and a negative interpretation. And whichever we decide to focus on will become our reality of it. We live in a world of duality between positive and negative, and both points are equally valid to choose from. So you see, it is a choice. It's a choice we get to make for ourselves to decide how we want to experience something. And so as we go about doing this, I want to invite you into not labeling the positive as good and the negative as bad, but more just as different perspectives of the same experience that we get to choose. Positive simply means it just connects you more to who you want to become, and negative simply means it disconnects you more from who you want to become. So resist the labeling that these are good or bad or right or wrong. So what I do want to encourage you to do is to choose the perspective that feels better to you. Based on the experience you're having, choose the perspective that is more integrative to who you choose to be. Now, sometimes we're unconscious to how we're being because we have some internal beliefs, deep internal beliefs, that are keeping us in a victimhood energy, and we just don't see it because the beliefs have been ingrained in us and possibly even habituated. And so we can't see ourselves as even having a choice. We just default right into negative every time. It takes a lot of practice to be able to do this, especially when this occurs. And so the idea is first to become aware of who you are, become aware that you are in fact creating your experience, and become aware that you get to make a choice and change the experience you are having. And it all starts with the decision to want to become aware and start practicing this. And so every experience is neutral until we assign it to be positive or assign it to be negative. Think of it this way. It's kind of like the word schizofliction. Is that a positive or a negative word? Now, you don't really know, do you? It's completely neutral. And do you know how I know? Because I completely made it up. And until you decide what it means, it's not positive or negative. It just is. And so are all of our experiences. They just are, until we perceive or decide them to be positive or negative. But if I told you that schizofliction means a way to achieve unlimited abundance in every aspect of your life, you would likely associate that as being a positive thing or feeling, and you would be like, yeah, Don, give me all of the schizofliction you've got, right? But if I told you that schizofliction means extreme pain in the entire body, you would likely then associate that as being a negative thing or feeling, and you'd be like, nope, keep that schizo stuff away from me. So is this making sense for you? I know it may be a little bit esoteric, but it's a powerful point that is really important to understand in this. Let me give you another example, and this is a real life example that I experienced. A few years ago, when I lost my full-time job without severance, I was still earning my coaching certification. And when it initially occurred, I was like, oh shit, like what am I gonna do? Like this wasn't part of my plan. And I viewed it as a negative thing. But a few weeks later, I decided to launch my business early and work it full-time. The situation really wasn't a negative thing, but it was actually a positive one for me. Do you see how both were true? And how I chose which it was simply based on the perception of how I was seeing it and experiencing it. My experience, truth be told, my experience would have been much easier and smoother if I didn't fall right into fear and I just trusted myself to choose the experience I wanted. But at that time, I was still in the middle of becoming aware of how all this worked. So you see, you get to choose the experience you want. And I want to encourage you to always choose the option that feels good to you. And so I'm curious, what are you taking away from this video today? What is really resonating for you? And what's not resonating? What concerns or questions might you have? Share them in the comments below because I want to be able to continue to support you as you move forward in your journey. And if you would like to receive further support in this and would like to connect with me for a short one-on-one free call, click on the Speak with Dom link. I put that link in the comments in the description box below. It would be a real privilege to be able to speak with you one-on-one personally about this. I'm also going to continue making more videos like this, so be sure to hit that subscribe and bell so you don't miss them. And then lastly, if you'd like to pay it forward to another person on this planet, I invite you to share this video online with your friends and family. In sharing it, it will help many more people than just the few that I'm able to reach on my own. And I would appreciate it because that is my mission, is to impact as many people as possible with everything that I've learned and everything that I'm sharing. So I want to take this moment to thank you for joining me today. And until I connect with you again for my next video, stay well, stay healthy, and stay empowered.